Well, get your coffee. The nectar of life. Anyway, so something I meant to talk about a while back, totally forgot, totally spaced, whatever it was. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this back when I first heard about it, and then didn't do it. The Sega Genesis. A Sega Genesis Mini. Anyway, so I talked about the PlayStation Classic, and I did a couple of videos, maybe 2 or 3, I don't really remember, I'll have to look back. Anyway, point is, I talked about it at one point in time, and I was super excited for it when I first heard about it. I mean, how could you not be? It's the PlayStation Classic. The PlayStation has so many titles that it could have on there, just classic titles that were just great. And then Sony, bless their hearts, dropped the ball on that one. Like, seriously, dropped the ball on it. They couldn't even be bothered to go to the internet to get the superior ROMs for their games. And, yeah. So, I also did a video on that, like the reasons I felt that the PlayStation Classic crashed and could have been better, but Sony dropped the ball on that. However, I just ran across this looking for something to talk about. And was like, you know what? I meant to talk about this once upon a time. Totally forgot to do it. So I've got my coffee here. I glanced over. I looked at the titles that the Sega Genesis is apparently doing, and they've apparently upped their count. Originally, they were coming out with 30 titles, and now they're doing 32 at this point. And hey, Sony, you could learn something from this one. So let's just look into it. Oh, and once again, don't forget your coffee. That's some good stuff. Anyway, let's get over here and let's take a look, shall we? We have the Sega Genesis Mini. It is currently up for pre-order recently, which is why I'm hearing about it again. With, 42 games. It was originally promised with 40. It's now up to 42. I was off by about 10 with that count. Anyway, I really want to take this time to talk about the Genesis Mini. I don't have much information on it right here, but what I want to look at are the games. And we're back. I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to have to cut out, so future me, good luck. Anyway, so I may repeat myself. It comes with 42 games up from 40, which is definitely nice considering it was originally promised for 40, and it now is getting 42. But what I really want to talk about are the games. I want to take a look at several of the games. I've got them pulled up here to show you. Down in the comments below, I am going to also link to these games, or these videos that I'm showing you. If you want to go take another look at it, you know, get a more in-depth look at that particular game, see what it's like. I picked out some really nice gems, I feel. Some not so much, but, you know, I was curious about what they were, or I was, you know, curious about what it is, and it looks actually really fun. Anyway, point is, I went ahead and I brought those up to just sort of look at it. The Genesis here is going to have a Mini. It's up for pre-order right now. In case you missed the news, the Sega Mini Genesis arrives on September 19th with the same 6-button controller. My bad, the US version only gets 3 buttons. I was going to say it didn't have 6 buttons here. Anyway, and a save state function, and this is going to be the complete list. So September 19th is the day to look for this. This actually might be one of those things I really, really, really want for Christmas or something. I don't know. Hey, honey, you can pre-order it from Walmart for apparently $80 and Amazon. You should buy it for me. Anyway, it's going to come with 2 bundled controllers. We don't know if it will be difficult to find like Nintendo's console or a flop like the Sony PlayStation Classic, like I said at the beginning. Somehow I don't think it's going to. I mean, with these games, this should be just a straight up sellout. So it may be hard to find. It depends on if they meet the supply or not, but if they do what Nintendo does, which is artificially inflate their things and make things scarce on purpose. But anyway, yeah, you might want to go ahead and order it. So here is the list. You have Sonic the Hedgehog, Ecco the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines. So, see, the first few games here we're going to list are probably games everybody gets. Everybody knows what Sonic is. A large majority of people know what Ecco is. Of course, if you don't, I'm going to show you here in a few. Castlevania Bloodlines. It's also another great title. It's a Castlevania game. There's going to be your Tetris, your Darius, Road Rash 2, Strider, Virtual Fighter 2. A game I don't know. I've never played this one, but it looks good, to be totally honest, for an old console. Alisia Dragoon. That looks like it was a lot of fun. Kid Chameleon, Monster World 4, which, to be totally honest, I don't think was a release title in the US. I have several of the Monster World games from way back in the day when on my master, well, technically it belonged to my mother, I think. Anyway, she had a Sega Master System, which comes with several of these games on there as well, like Altered Beast and several of the Monster World and titles as well as the Genesis. And I have several of those, but we don't have a Monster World 4. I'm pretty sure it was never released in the US. And there's a fan translation out there. So, you know, having an actual version of it that you can call ours, I guess, you know, released here, is really nice. Eternal Champions, Columns, Dynamite Hitty. I don't know what that one is, and I forgot to look it up. Anyway, Light Crusader, Altered Beast, Gunstar Heroes, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Not only do you get one, but you get two. Contra, Hard Corpse, Golden Axe, Shinobi 3, Earthworm Jim, Space Harrier 2, Shining Force, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which I didn't really care for, to be honest, but it itches somebody's fix. So, why not? Oh, and on top of this, where the other consoles give you like 20 games or so, Sega here has given us 42. That already puts it on a tier above the rest. So I guess really it just depends on what state these ROMs are and, you know, its output and stuff like that, because I'm sure it's got an HDMI connection and things, and I guess how the emulator actually works. But other than that, this is looking to be a great thing as it is. Toad Jam and Earl, Comic Zone, Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse, World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Don't really care for those either. Thunder Force 3, Super Fantasy Zone, Streets of Rage 2, which, you know, there's going to be people who like that, of course. Landstalker, Mega Man The Wily Wars, of all things. It's probably the one Mega Man game I don't actually own the cartridge to. I collect those. Anyway, Street Fighter 2 Special Champions Edition, Ghouls and Ghosts. I always say that backwards every time. Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle. I have that too. Beyond Oasis, Phantasy Star 4, The End of the Millennium, Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball. So, you know, if you like the pinball type things. Vector Man and Wonder Boy in Monster World. Yeah, I love the Wonder Boy games. I'm weird like that. Anyway, but yeah, so let's look at some of these games real quick, because that's really what I want to focus on this video. Because Sega Genesis Mini, please? Yes. Yes. Anyway, so this is going to be Castlevania right here, Bloodlines. Just look at it. I mean, for a console game, and it being this old at this point, this is actually a pretty good game, especially for a Castlevania game. And this is it running. I love it. I love it. I want this. I want this on a console. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to go look for emulating things. Anyway, but yeah, you've got Ecco the Dolphin. If you don't know what Ecco is, this is Ecco. I remember playing Ecco at like my grandmother's years upon years ago because they had a Genesis there. I never could do anything with it. I never could figure out how to do anything with it. But yeah, that was just me when I was really young. So Ecco wasn't exactly my jam, and I didn't know what I was doing, and there was no, you know, internet at the time. This is Road Rash 2, of course. And, yeah, I'm not really sure. Well, I'm not really sure. It's a racing game. It's not really my style. It's not something that I personally would like. But yeah, it's a thing. So, people like it. And I'm trying to fix the volume on this because I don't know if you can actually hear me as I talk over things. But those things were never really my thing. But there are a lot of people who do like the Road Rash series. This one, I don't really know, or I didn't really know what it was when I was reading that list. Alisia Dragoon. Looks actually a lot of fun. Side-scrolling adventure platforming type. I think that would be a lot of fun, definitely. It sort of gives you that Castlevania feel to it. I love the Castlevania games. And there's a little dragon that follows you around. Well, okay, that's not the dragon. I'm not really sure what's going on here. But there was a dragon following her around, see? And I'm sure it does stuff, like whatever it was doing. I mean, heck, it's even got a level. So, anyway. Let's move on here. This is Monster World 4. A game that I'm pretty sure was never properly released here in the States. Yeah. But let's just take a look at this real quick. It's another side-scrolling adventure type, which looks like it'd be a lot of fun too. Let's see. Got anything interesting happen here? You know, RPG style. Maybe. I'm trying to get some action sequences here, but I guess this is about as good as it gets. Blocking sword. Yeah. Anyway, it looks like it'd be a lot of fun to mess around with. I wouldn't mind doing that. This one is Altered Beast. Altered Beast is one I've got for the Sega Master. It's, in my opinion, kind of hard. Or at least it was when I was younger. I've played it since then, plugging it up over at my parents, and it's not as hard now. So I guess it was hard for young me. I really enjoy getting the power-ups and you know, going all beast mode. So let's see if we can find that real quick. But yeah, come on, get one. You get the bulk up, boom. You get bulked up, and then you get another one, you go all beast mode. Yeah, I used to love watching that, and then he gets to throw his fists and stuff or something. It has that little crash thing. I remember this boss being so hard. Like, I had a horrible time with this. I don't know if this is better or what, but I remember having a lot of hard time with this. I didn't even know that crash little move was a thing. So I don't know, maybe we don't have that on the Master System. This looks a lot better than the one I've got. But anyway, let's move on, shall we? This is Mega Man, the Wily Wars. Look at that, 1987, 88, 90, and 94. This has been a while. This is quite some time ago. Let's see. Got Mega Man the Wily Wars. I don't really know much about this one, considering I'm a Mega Man nerd. Mega Man 3. Huh. So is this like a combination of all those games? That's cool. I didn't know they did that back then. Anyway, it's on there. You get the first few Mega Man games. That is pretty neat. That's tight. I just learned something new today. Anyway, we also get Phantasy Star Online. I'm sorry. Phantasy Star, the end of the Millennium. This is your standard JRPG thing. The Phantasy Star series, definitely a lot of fun if you've never played it. If you're into RPGs, you should check them out. And here's a good chance to check one out and try it if you buy this for other games. Let's see, what do we got? Well, let's bring up something else. And this is what the combat looks like in the old days. I mean, it's not bad. So, but yeah, standard RPG type, JRPG. A lot of fun, good story. Yeah, give it a look. And this one's going to be Wonder Boy and Monster World. Pretty sure I own that. So, I own several of the Wonder Boy series. I can't remember that one that I played a ton of when I was younger. But anyway, it's a platformer RPG kind of combo. It's a lot of fun too. So if you're into that sort of thing. Anyway, I think that's what how we're gonna just end this right here. That's what we're gonna do. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about the Sega Genesis, the retro console, whatever you want to give it, the Sega Mini. Let me know down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.